What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Geek Out. I'm very happy to be with you today. My name is Alex. Welcome to Geek Out. If you like what we do, please come join us in the Geek Ride every tryingly every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So from Monday to Thursday, we at 9 a.m. I say we hi at 9 a.m. Eastern time will host or Geek Out and Play, that other show where I go and play mini games. So yesterday we did a little update on Geek Out and Play, basically laying down what will be the rest of 2020 in terms of what we're going to play and the game that we are looking forward to. So today I'm going to finish my Star Trek stories, and that's it. Yeah, it's fun. So in the last episode of Geek Out, basically I talked um, about my like 2 year journey into Star Trek, preparing for basically my 2 years started with the first season of Discovery, leading me to the announcement of Picard. In preparation for Picard, I've rewatched Next Generation and Voyager. Watch Picard, watch the second season of Discovery. Then I have rewatched basically TNG DS9 Voyager before the third season of Discovery. So that was amazing. That was 2 beautiful years rewatching these series. And today, in the last episode, I talked about Lower Deck, Discovery, and Picard. Now I'm gonna go back in time and talk about Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. But before I do so, 2 weeks ago, so it's Star Trek these days. Discovery is back. First episode was last Friday. The new episode is coming in a few days. Um, by the time of recording. If you watch later on YouTube, look for the Geek Ride. The episode might be out at that time. Um, so first episode of Discovery, and 2 weeks ago it was the finale of Lower Deck, and let me tell you, it was a blast, especially after a year of rewatching every everything Star Trek, finishing Lower Deck with that strong of a finale. That was, man, I was in tears. It was amazing, and I have to say that the ending of that first episode of Discovery season three, um, that the last 10 minutes of that episode is the most Star Trek has ever been. It was just purely magic and amazing. I loved it. So going back in time, so I told a little bit my story. Basically, I'm born in '87, so right in the like big push of Star Trek, with starting with TNG and then DS9 Voyager. So I was born right at the beginning of this. So of course, like as a kid, it was more like, oh, this is the show that my dad listened to. I always like associate Star Trek with my dad. Um, and later when I get older, basically it was the original series movies and the TNG movies that would grab my attention as a uh, Star Trek fan. So as a kid or younger, like before my teenage year, I never really paid attention of Star Trek on TV. It was more Star Trek in theater. Basically, for me, the war between Star Wars and Star Trek wasn't about like that universe. It was mostly like basically, hey, I got more movies over there compared to you that has only those three very very good movie, but we have like six, seven, eight, nine over here. It's awesome. Um, so yeah. So and in my teenage year, I went and rewatched basically um, TNG and Voyager. DS9 was always the one that I don't know for what reason. I've tried many times to start that series. Everybody that I talk Star Trek with uh, were telling me like, you know what, DS9 is the bomb. You have to watch DS9. This is amazing. It's one of the best Star Trek ever. But that first season, those first few episodes, and every Star Trek has that problem, but DS9 more so. I don't know why I didn't vibe with these character. Everybody was kind of like not pissing me off, but like I didn't no none of those character grabbed me. Um, so it was always more, of course, TNG and Voyager by like association with the Borgs and stuff like that. Um, and since my teenager, young adult life, I kind of like went on with my life. The new Star Trek was out, the new series of movies. Of course, I went nuts when that came out. Me and my dad went to see the movie in theater. I got some tears in my eyes when the Enterprise come out, the Saturn like ring. Yeah, this movie is very special. I love the rest of the series. Like the rest of the series, I'm hoping for more from the Kelvin timeline. I love that universe, and of course, 2 years ago, I started my own very personal like okay, I need to know more about this Star Trek universe that I like. There is like there's gonna be so much now with Picard and Discovery that I want the full picture. So I went back and started with TNG. Of course, TNG is just my favorite. If like TNG is among probably my top 10 like favorite TV series of all time. Like this is something I can always go back, pick up an episode. I can blindly, almost blindly choose any episode. That first season you can skip a lot. I don't need that, by the way. So yeah, that first season you can skip a little bit more. Like yeah, there is like literally a list on internet that will tell you like, hey, you know what? Like if you live in 2020, especially in 2020, but if you lived in 2019 before that, like these are the episodes that like are not relevant today, like or they depict racism in a way that was like a little bit like blindsided in the 90s for whatever reason. So 40 years ago, yeah, well, I saw these tweets this week saying like, no, like 40 years ago that's the 60s. No, 40 years ago it's now the 80s and soon to be the like in 10 years the 90s. That's nuts. um so there's few episodes that you can skip. In upon my second rewatch, I skipped to them. 2 years ago, I've watched everything, and when I rewatched, there were certain episodes that would just like, oh yeah, I know that one. I know I can skip. It's not that much important, or it's an episode that I don't need the point of view of. So yeah, so let's talk TNG. It is like at the end of this year, I will say that TNG is still my favorite overall crew. Um, but I prefer some character from other series over character from TNG. So right off the bat, TNG, uh, uh, sorry, Geordi and Data always has been my favorite character for all Star Trek. Geordi specifically because as a kid he was so special with that visor of his, and anybody who knows me when I was a kid, I loved everything that goes in front of the eyes, or it's a visor that allows me to see different shade of electromagnetic, or it's the scanner from Dragon Ball that allow me to see the power of somebody. I'm a big fan of that futuristic AR like interface that we're all gonna have someday. So yeah, so Jordy was always my favorite character, and that relationship with Data is just purely amazing. Um, and it that I'm gonna come back on the conversation about like duo, because you always have like each series as a duo of character that are interesting. Deep Space Nine will even have two that will mismatch a little bit, and Voyager. So basically, you like that duo of friendship. So you have Geordi Data in TNG. You have basically Bashir and O'Brien in DS9. You can count Jake and Nark. Is it Nark? Nark? Whatever. The little yeah, fuck my life right now. So sorry about that. Yeah, so Jake and his friends Knock, and Voyager is Tom and Harry. So yeah, Data, Jordy, love them. Picard is still my favorite captain. Probably just by kind of default that like I like he's the face. Like there is some action that Cisco or Janeway will do that I will prefer. Like if found like there is some valor from Cisco and Janeway that I like over some moral or valor that Picard has. But Picard is just like the emblem of Starfleet nobility. He he has every decision he takes basically is always not the right one always, but like it comes from such a deep place that yeah, you have no choice but respecting Picard. He's my favorite one. Although Cisco is getting very high on the list after watching DS9, I can't wait to talk about DS9 because that was such a turnover. Um, After that, we have my okay. Just because we saw few episodes of Discovery where we see Pike and the the real number one inside the Enterprise, like she's my favorite, but I'll need like a full series with her to put her over Riker. Of course, Riker in season one of the Enterprise is some of the most like horrific scene that you can see. It's pretty bad. And as soon as he come back and he has the beard, Jonathan Frakes is born like the day that beard grew, and he became like just one of the best, one of the most charismatic, kind of Han Solo. But if Han Solo was like a military man, I just love Riker. Um, and Crusher. Crusher is my probably one of my favorite female character in all Star Trek. Her Janeway 7 of 9, probably. Um, yeah, Crusher is awesome, and the more you get into the series, the more you learn about her, and she's basically just a fucking badass. Like she's a doctor, but she also take command duty. So like she's on the bridge. Like she pilot, not pilot, but she commanded the Enterprise like on the night shift or stuff like that. But she still did it. She's yeah, she's just awesome. When you see her in the last episode and she the captain of her own like medical research ship, which is also awesome. So yeah, Crusher, like two thumbs up for Crusher. Crusher is awesome. Um, Deanna Troy is a nice character in that group. Like I think she's with that group. She's awesome. That all the relationship, um, but like I personally find that the writer never gave her or very little. Okay, she has some great episode, but she has some very like annoying and frankly like just trash episode. In general, she's nice when she compliment the scene, um, but when she like the writer never knew how to put her front and central properly. That's my opinion, of course. And all these side character like Barclay, O'Brien, like I love that O'Brien is passing from TNG to DS9 and will find so much success in DS9 and will become one of my favorite all time favorite character. I should have a pen and paper just to start nothing like my favorite characters. Whatever. I'll do that a bit later. That list change every 5 minutes whatsoever, so doesn't matter. Um, but yeah. So yeah, that's about it. Like Barclay is one of my favorite character. I'm so happy that we see him again in Voyager later on. He's awesome. Like, um, in my opinion, the Enterprise has the best holodeck story. But Voyager has some very good one. But I think the holodeck, like first of all, best technology ever. Like I would love to play video game on that shit. Um, like anything, like Uncharted, Last of Us. Let's go, bring them zombie. I wanna go. That would be awesome. Um, what else I love? Like of course the Enterprise. The Enterprise D is not my favorite Enterprise, but it's a good one. It's a very good one. Um, I love the original Enterprise more, but with the like not reimagining because it's exactly the same ship, but just the visual they made of it in Discovery. It's fucking amazing. I prefer like I love that Enterprise in the Kelvin timeline because it's a bigger and more militarized ship. So that's awesome. But yeah, the Enterprise D is my favorite Enterprise in term of interior, like what the Enterprise is, what it represents, and everything. But not my favorite shape. I think that well tail in the back is pretty not good. It's not good. It's not a beautiful design. Like it's nice, like the fact that the saucer can separate and everything. But yeah, I just don't like that flat. Well, if the curve was nice and always, but no, they have that like it's flat, 90 degrees almost, and flat. Like it's oh my god, it's she's iconic though. She's beautiful. I love to see her every time, but it's not my favorite. And of course, the best thing about TNG is Q. Q is one of my favorite character. He's always a surprise, even when you rewatch TNG. What's nice is I never remember in what order Q appears. I know the first episode. That's an iconic and incredible first episode. But after that, it's always like, oh, what's that one again? Oh yeah, that's the one he gives the power to Riker. Oh, okay, yeah, that's the one he goes with Vash or something like that. Like I know, like it's always a surprise what shenanigan Q will do. And then we go to DS9. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna do them in order, but in theory, DS9 is like the last one I've watched because, like I said, even to the last minute, DS9 is always a pain in my ass. So as a teenager, young adult, when I've rewatched TNG at that time, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna watch DS9. Never saw it. Like at that time, it was the first time, full discovery of it and everything. Same thing for Voyager, but Voyager grabbed me. So I went into DS9, and I don't know, these first few episodes are like just not like grabbing me now with a look back. Now that I'm done with the series, I've watched it, like I want to go back to these first few episodes where Cisco is just pissed to be there. And the other thing, I think, like the biggest thing for me is that Star Trek always was always for me about that discovery, the discovery of new planet, new alien, understanding, the study of the human morale and valor and like history and stuff like that. Like for me, that was Star Trek. So putting this on a stationary uh, like base with no exploration. Okay, cool. You're gonna bring what? It's gonna be a new alien coming in the station every week. Oh no, you're basically just with that one. Like you're over a planet, and basically it's the story of these people. So that premise, like in those few episodes, never went around and grabbed my attention like enough for me to stick around for the fucking amazing part that is DS9 season, basically 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, so that was weird. So basically, as a teenager, TNG Voyager. Come back many years later. Picard is announced. I want to come back. I went TNG. I said, you know what? I'm gonna try again. Let's go do DS9. Same thing. And I pushed through. I was like, okay, you know what? I will at least try finishing that first season. And I was like, no, you know what? For that 26 episode, no way. I'm not getting through that again. And then rewatch Voyager. Blah 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 blah. Starting this year, rewatch TNG, rewatch Voyager, and I started to watch a YouTube channel coming from What Culture that is called Trek Culture. And basically, they go around with some video and stuff like that. And they basically, I went on and spoiled myself a little bit of DS9 just to say, like, why do people talk so highly of it? And I don't like it. Um, so I went on and basically just got enough cues, yay, enough cues from around to say like, okay, cool, let's give it a real shot. So I'm gonna give it 2 season, and no matter what, I'm gonna fucking push through, even if I'm pulling my hair down because I hate it or whatever. If I have to tie myself to a chair and raise my eyelids, I will do it. But I will push through. I will watch 2 seasons of DS9. Um, and it was one specific video that talked about Cisco, because Cisco was primarily one of my problem. I was like, why? First of all, why is he a commander? Why it's not a captain? And second, though, why is he pissed? Like you're in Starfleet. Uh, like why are you pissed? Like you are in this base. Like I never understood why. Like at the beginning of the show, he's just basically fuck it all. I'm leaving. I don't fucking care. Blah 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 blah. So it was weird. I found it very very weird. So after watching those videos on YouTube and understanding a little bit more why people would love DS9, I went on and let me tell you, I promised myself 2 seasons. Basically, I watched the first four in about a month. Like I was doing a season a week. It was freaking amazing. Like I devoured DS9 uh, more so than I devoured TNG uh, like back last year. Like last year, I did TNG 7 season, 2 months, like 4 weeks. I did basically DS9 7 season in 7 week. Um, so like it took me like it was really really like literally I would like go work, watch some episode at work. I could watch like 5 6 episode in the night, come back, watch another 5 6 episode at home, maybe less, maybe 3 4 episode at home. So right there, like in 3 days I can watch a full season. Like it's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. I loved it so much. So basically, Cisco almost came on top. He became my favorite, my favorite captain in the series. Like if it were not for the fact that Picard is kind of my hero, Cisco would have taken it. I think Cisco has the best. Like I find it funny. I think Cisco has the best standing in front of the window of all the captain. Like I love that half, yeah, half kind of like military pose of his, like just the half one and kind of the raise of the shoulder that he do himself, always with something in his hand, like or his baseball bat or pen or just like a fist clenched. Um, I love that Cisco will become a more of a military man, a big like a commander of armada and big strategic defense and attack and stuff like that. This is freaking amazing. I love that relationship with Jake. I think that relationship between two character is the most beautiful in any Star Trek. Like it's Spock and Kirk level of like character development and touch and feeling and crying and laughing and everything in between. Like these two characters are just absolutely exceptionally well written, and the two actors played that relationship so well. It was so good, with the death of the mother, with the new girlfriend wife coming in, with everything that happened, the war, they have to go away. Oh man, it's just yeah. Jake and Cisco saved DS9 for me. And of course, um, that relationship with Bashir and O'Brien. So basically, at first, the like in the first 2 seasons, I would say, basically the duo of Star Trek DS9 is Nog and Jake. So you are presented with these two kids, and that is supposed to be like the duo that will do shenanigans in the station and fucked up uh, things, and like that was like they presented it like, hey, this is your new Jordy and Data basically. You have Nog, who is a second time second time. Oh my God, Ferengi, thank you, Jesus, mother. So Nog is a Ferengi and Jake is a human. So of course, like it create that tension between those two, and that duo, especially the story of Nog, more specifically, will be one of the greatest story in Star Trek, in my opinion. Nog is in my top three favorite character of all Star Trek. Like that, Nog is he was one of the reason why I hated DS9, disliked DS9, and he's one of the main reason why DS9 went over Voyager in my book. Um, yeah, Nug is just yeah, what a fucking great character. Like his story from like being a Ferengi, meaning like nobody trusts him, and he's kind of a little thief, not thief, but he's a delinquent. He's a kid that don't know like nothing beside his uncle Quark's in his and his father, um, and that like all the Ferengi in that show, like that family of Ferengi, is the number like by far the number one reason why I stuck with DS9. Nog, Quark, the brother I can't remember his name. That trio of character just like made me fell in love with more than just the show, but the whole Star Trek universe. Like everything, like I like they made me want more than never to take the Enterprise and just go everywhere in the galaxy and meet everybody. Um, like Quarks also like just what I think that DS9, what makes DS9 very special, and why I think people love it more than the other shows is that whether you watch the original series or DS9, not DS9, TNG, like basically the character you get at the beginning of the show and the character you get at the end of the show are very similar. Okay, yes, they will go with their personal arc or anything, but it was like these show were made so that you can come at any week, watch any episode from back to end, and you understood that story. If you come back the next week, it's gonna be another story. Sometimes we make it two parts. But DS9 is probably the more serialized of all the Trek. That and Voyager. Voyager are the more serialized. Like each episode, yes, you can come back and forth if you want to. Uh, DS9 is less so. Voyager a little bit more. Uh, but even Voyager, because they are always on a journey, like you cannot really come back to a point before where they have arrived. Like that's so. But DS9 is so much more serialized. So they gave these character way more arc from starting to finish. Like I mean, Cisco will start as a commander, not wanting to be on DS9, wanting to retire, go out, like go back on Earth and cook in his father's kitchen, to like the captain in charge of literally the Federation Alliance Armada. Like this fucking insane. This is insane. So yeah, so and Quark will start from like that smuggler bar owner to be basically a smuggler bar owner, but like having gone through like the rise of his nephew from his little nephew to a Starfleet officer. Nog will start as a Ferengi who has difficulty learning in school, who is a delinquent, to one of the like most badass, respected like cadet and later on officer on Star Trek, like on this crew and in the Armada. Like he's gonna be a crew member of the Defiant in the defense of the Federation. It's like that is crazy. Um, Jake is probably the one with the less like not development, but like his arc is basically start from a little kid who's good in school to being a writer and writing basically the story of this war. Chief O'Brien and Bashir will, like I said, become uh, probably my favorite duo. I think they have the most interesting interaction. Like Data and Jordy work well together. They solve problem together and they go in the holodeck together and stuff like that, but they mostly work together. But in this case, O'Brien and Bashir, like later on, like starting probably season 3 and 4, you really grab that beginning of relationship between them, and it's really a relationship because the only time you see them together beside some mission, it's in their off-duty time where they play together, or it's dart, or it's rocket ball, or I don't know how they call it, or it's recreating historical war in the holodeck. So yeah, that friendship and the way it's gonna evolve throughout the series is my favorite duo. Well, not my favorite duo. My favorite duo is still Data and Jordy, but I think it's the best. Like I think it's like the most warm like friendship that you can have. Like these are really like two good friends that trust each other to the end, basically to the end of the series. It's freaking amazing. Like I'm happy that Jake and Nog got their separate way and each got their own like big story. And I'm happy that Bashir and O'Brien took that place of the duo of the show. Then it leaves us with Dax, both Dax, and of course Kira. I love Kira. Um, I have a lot to love about Kira, and I love a lot about Kira. There's also things that just bugs me out. Um, she has a beautiful story, beautiful arc. Uh, Again, she will start somewhere like kind of a like everybody is kind of starting in a bad place. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna talk about Hodo quickly. I'm gonna come back to Kira. Hodo is awesome. I love Hodo. He can transform in anything. It's a wonderful story device. I love him. He's awesome. More Hodo. Uh, yeah, awesome. So Kira. Um, so like I understand what Kira represent in that show. I think she's a wonderful number one, like like Cisco right arm. Um, I think her story is incredible. I think they a little bit like Troy, they kind of used her. There is some time that Kira can be like the most badass, powerful woman in the world, and the next episode she becomes like somebody who like falls in love easily and can be manipulated like in a pinch. Like that always pissed me off. I love Kira as that freedom fighter, that rebel fighter. Like she would fit in the Star Wars universe, flying beside Luke Skywalker. Like she's a rebel, and then you have that priest that comes in, and suddenly she's like, "Oh, hello." how you doing? It's like, okay, good, good. You can be attracted to this man, good. But why does she become like a damsel in distress every time there is like a man coming in the room, whether it's the priest, whether it's the fucking president. I don't know what that guy was. Like he was a old fighter or whatever, and she fall in love with him, and they every time they give her like a love interest, she always become like a damsel for that man, and it bores me because every other time that we see her, she's a badass woman, and she's gonna defend her home. Her home. She's gonna defend her crew, and yeah, she's fucking amazing. She's Major Kira. Fuck, stop making her a bitch every time a man comes in the room. Fuck, please. Um, man, I would skip the scene. Like they would just piss me off. I was like, man, what did you fucking think? Like, why is she become like when the priest comes in? No, you're Kira. The priest comes in, he's gonna bow in front of you. Jeez. And then we have Dax. Dax is awesome. I love everything they did with that character. Both of them. I love that Worf. I love that Worf came back from TNG, had a beautiful, fucking amazing love story with Dax. I love the fact the Trill story with Dax and her relationship with Cisco from a previous life. That is really nice. Um, I kind of like what they did. Okay, I prefer the actress personally. Just she's just more my style. Okay, the first actress who did Dax did a better job in terms of acting, like creating that character in that universe. But I freaking find the second Dax just absolutely beautiful. Um, and I love that quirky character. I That's what I love about Dax is that when they decide to bring us Dax, first of all, they brought somebody that doesn't look a inch like her and has a completely other personality. First of all, she's not trained um, as a Trill. She's not trained to have the symbiote into her. So what's funny is that every now and then the other personality come out more than Dax, who has first Dax, Gencia. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna call Dax the second one, and I'm gonna call Gencia the first one. So Gencia had was basically one of the best student in the Trill Symbiote Academy, if you want to call it like that. She was one of the best candidate, and she got one of the best symbiote in Dax. Um, so when the second one come in, first of all, it was because she was the only compatible Trill in the spaceship when Dax was on his way uh, to be saved, basically. But he was dying, so they needed a Trill fast. Um, I'm spoiling, by the way, DS9. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so that second one doesn't have the full training. She doesn't have the discipline and everything. So I love that quirky, like a mix of everything, of every other personality that we learned and loved from Gencia. So yeah, Dax, very interesting character. Hodo is the best. Again, another shout out to Odo. Am I missing someone? I don't think so. O'Brien, Bashir, Cisco, Jake, Nog, Quark, Dax, Worf. Worf is nice. I love every moment that he's back. Everything that he brings with him from TNG to DS9 with the Klingon. We're gonna see Alexander. Everything is awesome. Everything is awesome. If you like Worf in TNG, you're gonna like Worf in DS9. And again, is a love story with Dax is just absolutely amazing. It is so well well written. It is just a masterclass of love story. And that brings us to Voyager. So Voyager, first time seeing Voyager, first time like really seeing Voyager. I mean like being focused and understanding that story was 2 years ago. I watched it when I was teenager, young adult, but I, to be honest, beside the different character, I didn't remember much of Voyager. Actually, I thought Odo was a character in Voyager when I rewatched it 2 years ago. So it was all mixed up. 2 years ago, I would say it's really my first real time watching Voyager. Um, Basically, Voyager. I started Voyager right after my insanely fast marathon of TNG, and basically Voyager grabbed me in the same way. Basically, in 2 3 months, Voyager was done with. Uh, I freaking love that story. Um, like I know that like DS9 kind of surpassed Voyager. Like if I had to rank them, but to be honest, I love those three series not equally, um, but because like I said, I think TNG is easier to go back because you can pick and choose any episode and just have fun with this character, uh, and and then move on. DS9 Voyager, you kind of have to watch the series to kind of grasp the full story and the implication of those story, um, and the overlap between the different stories make it so interesting because basically Voyager leaves before the Dominion War, but uh, when you see Starfleet and the Federation later on, it's after the Dominion War. So there's a lot of things like that that are fucking amazing to dissect and go pick apart. But yeah, Voyager I love. I love all these series. I will go back and rewatch them eventually. I will probably make myself some list of like what I really want to watch as episode and which one I want to skip or like oh yeah I can go without these ones. Voyager like took me a bit more time to watch both time because again the first 2 or 3 seasons are good at establishing the universe, but I think the story really starts to be good and to be freaking amazing. Like when 7 of 9 is about to come in, like like the leading up, like from the first time we meet the Borg, basically leading up to the finale. I think this is where Voyager is very interesting. 7 of 9, of course, not save the show, but had that je ne sais quoi that Voyager was missing. Neelix and Kes at the beginning were nice. Neelix became one of my favorite character. Kes is the one I could never stand. I am so sorry, Kes. Uh, it is an interesting character, and yet again, sadly, Star Trek, beside writing powerful and sexy women, don't know how to deal with more emotional one. I think Cass has some of the best episode and some of the better arc. I just find that if she's not the focus of the episode, which means if her power are not the focus of the episode, I think they don't know what to do with her. And personally, I think the actress was so monotone. Like she was always talking on the same like I am bored to be here tone. Whether she's supposed to be pissed or happy or whatever, she was like on that note and yeah, just like the character was so fascinating, and yet I never like on paper Cass is one of my favorite. On TV, she's one of my least favorite character. Like she's way below Troy, and everybody like I know Neelix is not the people are not fan of Neelix. If people are not fans of Harry Kim or Nog or Quark, like I will put Cass below Quark's brother, like in my ranking of Star Trek character. She so I was very happy when Seven of Nine kind of replaced her and Kess went on. It was nice that she comes back and she's basically pissed. That was a weird episode. It was cool, but it was a weird episode. So yeah, Voyager. Janeway is fucking awesome. Janeway is a badass. Janeway is yeah, Janeway is Janeway. In terms of captainry, so in terms of captain, I think Janeway is, I would say, better than Picard. Like what she has to go through in that show makes her just one of the best captain in the series. Like I said, I love Picard. Picard is my hero because he represents the core value of that curiosity for discovery that is Starfleet. Cisco represent more the military side of the Federation, and um, Janeway is basically the representation of humanity's resolved, like of Starfleet resolved or the Federation resolved to go above and beyond for the mission, to come back. So in that regard, Janeway is the captain I love to see the most on television because every single decision that she has to make can change absolutely everything. Like she has like basically she started the show with making a bad call, and then every subsequent decision is to basically make sure that everybody comes back from that mistake that she made. So she's just absolutely incredible. Um, Voyager, love Voyager. Voyager has some of my favorite character, but it has my least. It's so hard because I love Janeway, Seven of Nine, Doctor, and Tuvok. Don't care much for Chakotay. Tom Paris on the second view is awesome. On the first view, not so much. Harry Kim is okay. Um, I love that. No, that's better in DS9. I was about to say like I love the kind of kid relationship ish in Voyager, but I think yeah, DS no Voyager did it better. I love like Naomi Kyle. I think it's her name. Basically the captain assistant. She's awesome. She's one of the best kid character in Star Trek. Ijab is over there with the other Borg kids. Yeah, okay. So yeah, the kids situation in Voyager is better. So, but I love everybody in DS9. Nah, yeah. Sadly, I have to say, yeah, DS9, not DS9, but the Voyager crew is not my favorite, but it has some of my favorite character. Definitely the Doctor. Doctor, top five of my favorite character of all time in Star Trek. Um, like, how can a hologram, a machine, can have such a big arc is incredible. Seven of Nine is just Seven of Nine. She's badass. I'm happy to see her in Picard. I think she's also a great character. I think Seven of Nine is the best thing you could do to recreate the magic of Data without recreating Data, without putting another android with no emotion or whatever. I find it very interesting the route they took with Seven of Nine. Basically, you're a small human indoctrinated at a very very young age in a cult in a hive mind, and then as an adult, almost a 30 something years old adult, we pull you out of that collective, and basically you have to relearn how to live like a human. It's a beautiful story. They did it great. The seeing what she becomes in Picard is just like mwah, the cherry on top. We're gonna see more of her in season 2 of Picard. I am happy. Seven of Nine is badass. I already talked about Janeway. Janeway is one of my favorite character, one of my favorite captain. She's just badass. Yeah, I don't care much about Chakotay. He's a nice. I think the problem is a little bit like I put it. I will use the same argument that I use with Troy, is that he's nice at being like the complement for other group. Like okay, he's the commander against Tom um, and Kim. Thank you, Harry. Um, so he will be the like yeah the my god parental or like authority figure towards Tom and Harry and Belana. Uh, he will be like a friend for the Doctor or Neelix or Tuvok or Janeway. So I like him when he complement other character. Tuvok is nice. I love everything about the culture. Like he's more Vulcan than Spock. Like he's more yeah. He's very cool. Belana, I started to very like her when like she started her relationship with Tom Paris, and at the same time, I find that like I love the arc of that character more when she started dating Tom Paris, but I think the writer didn't do what to do with her after that, because Seven of Nine was kind of the Seven of Nine and Janeway. It was already for the writer too much female power, so a third one would be too much, which is a bad thing because I think Belana could have gone on missions and stuff like that and would have been very nice. I very love her this character. I just think again the writer didn't know what to do with her and missed the mark with her in some regard. Way too much attention again put on Janeway and Seven of Nine. I think Belana could have done an incredible job if the writer would have gone better. Like they basically gave like her heart to Tom, and like I would have or put a little bit more emphasis on their relationship before the kids and them having kind of a lot of adventures and stuff like that, or I would have put Belana a little bit more on missions and having to solve problem. Otherwise, she's basically always in engineering, and that's what she does. Like there is a problem in engineering, okay, Belana is gonna be there, but beside that, or she's gonna be in the bedroom with Tom. So like they could have give it a little bit more. So in conclusion, do I rank my ship? Yeah, Voyager is awesome. TNG, the Enterprise is awesome. I don't have enough ship to rank, so I will not do that. But yeah, Star Trek is a big part of my life, and now more so because now I can go back and watch the original series, the original animation series. TNG, DS9, Voyager. I can go. I'm currently watching Discovery. We watched season 1 and 2 recently to prepare for season 3. Uh, Lower Deck and Picard. So if you are a Star Trek fan, there is much for us to digest. And if you are not a Star Trek fan because you find it a little bit overwhelming, well, I hope this video telling you why I love this series will bring you to choose whatever series you want and watch it. If you ask me for a starting point, I would say if you like cartoon, start with Lower Deck almost, because it will give you an introduction to the world or the timeline in which TNG, DS9, and Voyager appear, and it will give you a glimpse of like a future where everything is shiny and over lens flared. Of course, the or all the original movies and the TNG movies or the new one starting in 2009 are also a good starting point. The series are daunting. It's 7 seasons per series, 26 episodes per season. Let's go. Don't no, don't miss on that because there's over yeah too much. It's a lot. It's a lot. So it's daunting. If you go on internet, you have wonderful place where they will basically give you a list of the important episode to watch for each series. So hey, you can skip those 5 episodes, but watch those 10. These are important. So you can find it on internet. So as always, guys, if you like what we do, my name is Alex. Welcome to the Geek Ride. You can subscribe, ring the bell, whatever. If you miss our video live, you can watch them on YouTube. Go look for the Geek Ride, and like and subscribe so I can have that hashtag eventually. Not hashtag, but dash youtube.com/the Geek Ride. Please go subscribe. Help me get it. And I will see you in the next episode. Ciao, guys.